parents don't realize the impact that they have on moving the needle for raising awareness about their child's disability, to making other people more sensitive to the fact that their child counts. Oftentimes you hear that, I'm just a parent, I'm just a mom. That's what makes it so much more powerful, is that mom or that dad. And here in Marilee's situation, just a mom has been amazing, again, to see the type of impact that she's had.
While a lot of people get hung up on the downside of having a child in a wheelchair with a disorder and get hung up on that kind of thing, our family takes it a different route. We decided that we're going to live life, and we can go from point A to point B. We just kind of have to take the scenic route sometimes. We got her to the National Institute of Health. We rode up there thinking, okay, we're going in on Monday. On Friday, they'll say it's whatever, because it's the National Institute of Health. Friday came, and they said, we don't know. We'll keep looking. Well, we'd heard that for 13 years. Early on in Jesse's journey, she was having a problem realizing that children were doing things that she couldn't, because she was having struggling walking, struggling to talk, and she was about 8 years old at that time. And my dad took her to the kitchen table, and he set her down, and and she wanted to tell him how terrible it was, and she didn't want to go outside, and she didn't want to go to school, and she didn't want to do this, and she didn't want to do that. And he started playing cards with her, and he said, "Let me see your hand." And she showed him, and he said, "Well, yeah, you're right. That sucks. It's a terrible hand. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to fold and give up, or are you going to play that hand? Because that's kind of the situation you're in. You're just going to give up and go sit in the recliner, then go do that. Or are you going to figure out, yeah, I have to struggle, but I've got to figure out a way to do it." And he said, because you can't spend your life not knowing. So you got to pick. What are you going to do? And I thought at the time when he said that, I was like, that's the cruelest thing I've ever seen anybody do to an 8-year-old. But she did. She hopped up and she's like, "Well, I'm going to go show them." And it's like, okay, well, we'll just push your chair while you're showing them. One of the things that Jesse experienced in school was teachers that didn't understand. Teachers that wanted to teach not quite this complex of a child. So the opportunity was given to us to be on an advisory board for iShine. And we work with students that want to teach high intense, complex special ed children. And the idea is letting them know what that is. And we're establishing what ASU is going to use as help advise them of what, as a parent, what would make a better teacher. At that time, the state of North Carolina was reevaluating whether parents should be paid caregivers. And their argument was that parents would isolate their children. That would cause children to be at home more, in front of the TV. So when we had the stakeholders group, when we heard about it, we knew that the powers that be were also going to be on that group. And so I said, Jesse and I are coming, but the deal is Jesse has to come too. So they're going to sit down and they're going to see what it is that a paid parent and a child look like. So if they're going to decide, at least they've met one that they are deciding about. And during that group meeting, we had one of the powers that be with the state come up to me and say that they were firmly against paid parents, paying parents to care for their adult children, until they met Jesse and said, "You are everything that we would want a child to be," getting them out, doing involved and that kind of stuff. We didn't realize. And I said, it's not just me, it's not a novelty. A lot of parents are doing this for their children. And it's not for every family, but it should always be an option for families.
Well, a lot of it that I've met with Merle is I've learned and found out about through, especially with the Riding for You program and then the National TASOS Foundation. Earlier in the year, she put together a deal down in Mooresville with one of the businesses that we work closely with as well. They were able to raise some funds for the National TASOS Foundation there. I've now got to be a part of another member's family. A young boy by the name of Josh. I'm his Riding for You buddy. So it's been a wonderful experience to learn more and more about these diseases that a lot of them are fighting with, and where this research is going, and the strong efforts that these people like Merle are trying to do to help raise funds to get those researches going.
We do Jesse's Ride of Hope. We do it every September. It's a motorcycle ride. And the money raised goes to the conference. They can use it for a cure, they can use it to help another family, because a lot of times families need equipment and the system isn't getting equipment as fast as these children need it. Well, another family may have the equipment that they're no longer needing. So the group will ship it cross country, whatever. I'm honored to get an award, but in the same breath, I don't know what I'm doing to receive an award, because to me, I'm just doing what a mom's supposed to do. I'm just being a mom. So I decided that yes, we're going to accept this award, but we're accepting it for all the moms.